searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah,
yeah. All right, if you put a list out to drivers and ask them what their favorite racetrack is, this one right here is going to end up on the top of a lot of lists, if not at least in the top 5. A track built back in the late 1960s by some guy named Roger Penske. You might know the name. Michigan International Speedway, Brooklyn, Michigan. The Irish Hills is the location for race number 22 of this Sim500 NC811 Cup Series. I'm the captain, Chris Scala, back with my partner, Kevin England, who joins us tonight. Kevin, welcome back. I know you had some personal business to take care of, but tonight we've got some business of our own to take care of here on the track. Michigan, a favorite of yours, a favorite of mine, a favorite of a lot of ours.
It's wide, it's fast, it's slippery, it's fun. This is going to be a total blast. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys go 3 wide, screaming down into the corner, slipping and sliding into each other, scrubbing the car coming up off the corner, and just flat out draft all the way down this front stretch.
So you had a little bit of bonus coverage, if you will, there. Something I decided to do tonight, and kind of an old school thing I've used to do is show practice while I was on the air and stuff, and work on things behind the scenes so you can kind of see what's going on in the track. But right now, what's going on in the track? Qualifying for the race, of course, presented by 811. No, it's below. Call before you dig. As we look at Tommy Ryan right now out here on this track. And obviously, we've got the max weather here tonight at Michigan. So we're going to see the hotness. We're going to see slick. And I've already heard from one driver that they're having a hard time running 3 and 4 wide open on to get up the speed lap. So imagine when they're at full speed here. As you see, Tommy looks like going to the top here, so maybe a throwaway lap.
It's just hard to say how these guys are going to be able to put these laps down. They can run wide open into turn number 3, and some of them may try to flat-foot it around there to 4, but I don't think the track's got it in. As I see Joe Hudson completely sideways off of turn 4, so yeah, right on cue. Thank you, Joe.
And Tommy just blinked out, I think, or something just went wrong there while we were watching Tommy. Oops. So Seth Foudy to the top of 39.17. Good lap there. Let's get the timing and screwing up there on the screen. There she is. Foudy, Fieri, Benfield with a good lap, 39.25. Doug Roth, Tyler Dalton. I know they were talking in the race, the real-life race, seeing speeds of 209 miles an hour down to turn 1. Not sure if we'll get that tonight, but they will be screaming down these straightaways. Comstock to the top, 39.02, as we watch Coleman come to the line. Chad is 39.7, 11th fastest. Tyler Dalton, 38.99 to the top.
That's what they're looking for. They're trying to get down into that 38-second bracket. If you could get that done in a qualifying lap, you are pedal to the metal.
Let's ride with the modified driver, Donnie Leah here. The 29 Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Cars. Gillen Water, 39.02. P2 on the charts.
High, wide, enhancement.
Literally.
Side wall. Holy cow.
I mean, this is Michigan a la mid-90s, that line right there. Coleman, 39.05, P4. So that's the throwaway lap from Donnie, basically just watched.
$39,465 for Leah.
Didn't get to the bottom. That might be key there. He was up about a half a groove, got a little loose off 2. He did send it in there pretty deep into 1, but he's purple. Down the back. Not like in the face, but lap time.
Got it turned down really well there into 3. Car's floating perfect. Comes up across the seam. No slip, no slide. Now he's going to drive down to the apron, right to the grass. See if he can put it across the stripe. Where's he going to fly?
P1, 3891. Yow.
You get to ride with magic. That was amazing. That was textbook pole right there.
Freaky fast lap there from Donnie Leah. As EJ O'Rourke's P5, he was purple in the first sector also. That's why we watch qualifying. See a top speed of 201, it looks like Donnie Leah was there. And to likely turn 1 with the front straightaway being the longer straightaway. Plus banking.
You could just see how he turned into 3. The car stuck down through the middle groove. And when it came off, it didn't wash out. It was stuck like glue coming up off the corner. He arced it perfectly down to drive down the banking and carried all that speed to the start-finish line. Outstanding lap by Donnie Lee.
You will not hear me singing Sugarland on the stream. I'm sorry.
Sugarland?
That Stuck Like Glue. It's a song.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Will you sing Pontoon?
If I knew the words, maybe.
Motor boating.
Oh, there goes my stream. All right, so Donnie Leah on the pole here tonight. So congratulations, him. We'll let the starting lineup roll across the top of the screen as per usual. And then let's show the point standings as we enter tonight's race here. Because well, we got ourselves some good battles here. In the Sim500 point standings, Pedro Mojica leads the points. Is Pedro here? I just caught that out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, wait a minute, I have not said Pedro's name in this stream. He is not on my list, I see, and which surprised me. I thought he said beer tonight. Anyways, he's got a 67-point lead on David Comstock. I think he's plenty good to make the playoffs. Mike Kelly, 3rd. Chad Coleman, 4th. Nelson Rivera, 5th. And then from there, it tightens up. Josh Parker, Richard Beasley, Doy Woods, Tyler Dalton, all on top of another. There's last week's winner, Scott Simley, P10. And then you go all the way down to the 20th position. Remember, 20 drivers make the playoffs in this series. You can miss no more than 4 races. So Tommy Ryan, Bentley Glazier, they're 2 already X'd off the list when it's all said and done here.
Yeah, we have to keep in mind that as it has been in this year, Stormageddon's going on for a lot of people over here on the East Coast. We just had a huge storm blow over us here, and I had my moments, but we lost our friend Mr. Wortman. He's without power. Checked in and said, sorry, he's going to miss it. So,
yeah, we got lucky here. It came over us, too, here in Georgia. It came over us about 5 o'clock or so, 4 or 5 o'clock, and it really wasn't as bad as people thought it might be. We got kind of lucky, needless to say. But unfortunately, unlike others, they did not. And, you know, remember the rules about 811 and stuff. If you do suffer tree damage and that kind of thing and have to dig or whatever, or if you see lines out in the road, make sure you call before you dig and go from there. So, all right, grid is being set right now. As you saw the lineup going across the top of the screen, you see everybody lined up in their cool formation that they've done here. Of course, with the newer tracks, I see Kip Cook watching tonight. Barbara Pinion's here. I see Voodoo Graphics, Mr. John, is watching here this evening, of course. As I think he just popped the top on a V8. But, and the cars roll off one by one.
It is a bowl and basket made by ShopRite.
A what?
Sparkling water. Sparkling water.
That's too healthy.
Yes. We need a sponsorship from like Bowl and Basket or something.
Well, I had one kind of lined up, and then I kind of read into it a little bit, and I was like, so I didn't put them on the stream. But yes, I'd love anybody wants to sponsor the stream. Come on in. We're accepting new channels. I got actually have started to kind of share the stream out to new groups and stuff that I've joined on Facebook, just trying to as always, you're trying to broaden your horizon out to everybody and make the stream even bigger. Of course, being able to show the best leagues on iRacing here on the Captain Esports Network. And
you have to get in the headspace of these guys right now. There's a slight cloud coming over, but what they're really thinking about is sunshine. They want to make it through turn number 1, get to the backstretch, not get taken out early. Such a risky proposition going down into turn 1 the first time at this racetrack with everybody on your door, on your bumper, on your nose. You got to make it through to the backstretch. Job number 1.
Race info, 79 degrees, 53% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 100 laps, 200 miles, and a partridge in a pear tree. As we come racing for the 22nd time this season in the Irish Hills of Michigan. Green flag. And to rebuttal what you just said, this is one of those races we're going to have to be careful, because when you have a car that can run a setup like this on a track that's very familiar, it could bring yellow, and I hope it doesn't. Cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and in the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. Sorry.
Clean through 1 and 2, down into 3. Right now, 2 by 2 by 2. Dalton looking to see if he could lead a lap, trying to draw alongside. He's there on the quarter panel, but I'm not sure if he's going to get there. Leah going to learn lap number 1. Dalton still on the charge. He's got Bob Gillenwater, who, when you go in the bottom, that's hard running down there, because usually everybody comes to the top and pushes that line, but Tyler just stuck it like glue again, and he got off a turn 2. Not too bad, not too shabby there, Tyler Dalton.
Very surprised Leah didn't have the run off the top side there. Down that front straightaway. We look back here, though, Brian Macklin, who I think is going to be one to watch here tonight, inside of David Comstock. You see Chad Coleman there behind him. There's the 1 of Seth Foudy, as I mentioned, the 84 of Callan Tony. And, oh, by the way, speaking of Seth Foudy, yes, we do got some onboard cameras for him tonight. So we'll have to see if Foudy has a spotter out tonight, or if the spotter finally woke up. I hope for the sake of the child that the baby woke up. For those who didn't see last night's race, Seth had his child there behind him, and I kept calling the baby the spotter. It's like, the spotter's sleeping.
Challenge for the lead. Leah comes down, draws right up to the quarter panel of Tyler Dalton, pulls down low, running that first seam out of turn number 4, just like his qualifying lap. He was able to slice down underneath. He's going to come down, pick up the lead one more time, and he crosses the stripe with a nice lead over Tyler Dalton, 2-3 car lengths, but Dalton back to the back bumper. Here they go in turn number 2, trying to make the run out to the backstretch. What a run the 29 gets from the center off, Chris. He's got that car hooked.
Yeah, he's definitely got it set up. Maybe a little trail break into the corner. Not sure if he's just letting off the gas, but you think about how you drive a modified. You let off early, right? And you drive it hard off, if I remember correctly. I'm now trying to think if I might have just said that wrong. But, this right up Donnie's alley, being able to carry the throttle off the corner and the momentum of this car.
Yeah, right now, top 5 single filed out with Jose Gonzalez sitting there in 5th position. Comstock has dropped back a little bit. This field kind of spread out. We see the prototypical Michigan turn 1. Some are bottom feeders, some are out the top, some are running the middle, and every one of them is trying not to get those left side wheels on the seam.
And you do not want to go to the bottom groove here. For those who do not know, the bottom groove is actually a separate banking than the regular part of this track. I still have no answers of why that is, but yeah, who owed what?
The 22 was down in the bottom groove, 3-4, just as you were saying that, and the car stepped out. He yawed the thing. He's running that yellow line. It's about the lowest bottom feeder we see over there.
Problem is,
car gets really unsettled out of turn 2 when you do that.
And that's because, again, the lower banking, the transition off the corner, and you got so much wheel in it because you don't want to run into the car at top side there. But, yeah, he's doing it. You see the Mike Kelly, number 2 car down there in the bottom. Mike Kelly last night at New Hampshire invented a groove. you're going to find this weird, being a guy that's a modified guy. He was literally running the whole entire apron at the end of that race.
Wow.
3 and 4. From the entrance to the exit, just painting the apron. And
I
he was
didn't
getting
think
grip.
that would work in this sim. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, I've seen him drive down there.
Well, because the car was so tight. I mean, there were some drivers last night that were turning the wheel at 90 degrees to get the car to cut mid-corner. So think about it. That flatter surface, less or more grip probably for not being ran much, and a D-wedge of the car. Hey, it turns a little bit.
Off camber a little too. That
yeah. EJ O'Rourke up the second here.
I just saw the 31 of Eric Arnold do a slide job right across the nose. I think maybe it was Stoney Benfield who's painting the fence up on the high side. That's a tricky run. You run that Kyle Larson line up there. The car will go great into the corner and set, but every once in a while you just carry a little bit of speed or it washes up and you find yourself up into the fence. And then everybody underneath you thinks they can run you all the way to the wall.
Right.
So,
yeah, Stoney Benfield on board with him right now, 10th position. Let's throw some speeds up here. Let's see what they're running. Down the straightaway here, 200, 201. About 201 down to turn number 1. He gets up here, top side again. Going to try to get that run. Getting a little free off, but not bad.
pretty typical because you run right to the edge and then the car squares up to the fence coming out of the corner. There's a red mark out on the wall. Sponsor, I think it might be the casino sponsorship at this racetrack, and you really want to hit the wall right at that point. That's perfect.
Now, when he says hit the wall, he doesn't mean actually hit the wall. He means like hit your mark of that corner.
Hit the wall. Yeah.
Now, speaking of hitting the wall, we about watched Coleman wall Calantoni there off turn 4. That's where you might have heard me go, whoa, like that when when you were talking. But and these cars drafting well here.
That's one of the things about, I would imagine, watching. I've never been to Michigan, but I can only imagine that every lap, just like you watch Dover or Richmond or some of those tracks, when you're sitting in the grandstands, they're showing the battle on TV up front, and on the track somewhere, every lap is one of those whoa moments.
That's almost at any track, to be honest. But John Mustian there, the Voodoo Graphics and Designs. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right there about he's talking about the getting air on the right rear when you're close to the wall. You don't get that side force, if you will, on the car and that kind of thing. But the other thing, John, we'll talk about if you want. So look at this. Rivera sending it to the bottom here. Passes to Brown. Now it's 3 wide. I mean, I don't know where Nelson got that run from, but holy moly donut shop. That was a big one. That's an actual donut shop.
Aerodynamics plays such a role at this racetrack. You'll see two cars running side by side in front of you.
Right.
And it's a gift because it just draws your car in. You pick up like 10 miles an hour, and then you find you want to figure something out to do with it. You tend to drive down underneath. You're at such a disadvantage going into the corner in the low line, but you don't want to waste it.
Saw EJ O'Rourke, I thought, got a pretty good run off turn 2, but Lee has been able to stretch it 2/10 here on that 41 car of O'Rourke. Everybody pretty much single file all the way back. And our first battle is actually back here in Montesi. Tommy Ryan, the 14 of Joey Jattina. I didn't ask him how he felt about his car, but I've learned the George Costanza theory works for him. For those who don't know that, the George Costanza theory is simple. Whatever you're thinking, do the opposite. And what I mean by that is Joey, most weeks, if I'm in there with him, he's like, all right, put a cover on it, we're good. And he ends up wrecked by lap 20. This past weekend, Sunday at New Hampshire, he was saying everything you could say to hate New Hampshire. Like, it needs to have banking. The track stinks. We just need to get over with tonight. All the yada, 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 all these different things, right? And he ran top 5 most of the night last night. It's all mind games.
He defines headspace sometimes. There's a dynamic we have to talk about here, which is EJ O'Rourke certainly looks fast enough to pass Donnie Lee at any point. draws up to his bumper by the end of the straightaway, and is clear that he has enough speed that if he wanted to pull out and make the pass. But we have fuel mileage on the brain. If this thing runs green all the way through, Donnie's burning fuel, EJ is not. So you have to wonder, even with Tyler Dalton, who we know loves the lead, these guys might be playing the fuel mileage game here, tucking in behind that draft.
Well, 20 gallons of fuel. Well, let me ask you this. Let me back up a step. Did you get a chance at NIS this week?
I did.
You did. How were you doing fuel-wise? Like, how many laps could you go?
I want to say, and this is just a vague recollection because we had so many cautions that didn't matter, but I think it's 50.
So in that case, if you can go 50 laps, it's a one-stop race. So the question is, can Donnie Leah do 50? If he can, then there's really not a point.
Yeah, but that's in the and with the draft. The question is when you're out front, just like yesterday and today, as they were talking about it.
Wait, you didn't dominate the race?
You don't know whether you're burning
Oh!
those. Whoa!
They about wrecked. Stoney Benfield, Chad Coleman, Kevin DeBrown, Callan Tony, they were all butt wrecked on the back straightaway.
You need the junior soundbite. Slide down! He was sideways off of the corner.
Oh, O'Rourke hit the wall. And he gets turned sideways by Dalton. That just checked everybody up.
They're scattering like kids chasing after candy from a piñata over there on the front stretch. Everybody went everywhere.
That's a hell of a reference.
Well, just because EJ was right in the mix and nobody knew where he was going to land, so everybody picked a lane.
I got nothing. That was awesome. He's left me speechless. Hey, you seeing the traditional... Oh, Nelson Rivera with contact off of Foudy and saves it.
That's what I mean. Every lap, something interesting is going on.
Somebody just sparked over in turn one. Is Eric Arnold up to the third position. Mushton bringing this up from the 18th position. So Eric doing a good job. Hopefully not burning up his tires with this run. But Eric doing a masterful job so far to track that you would think he'd be very good at, ironically.
Yeah, and Wesley Donaldson's come from 14th too. So
Arnold the second.
Able to drive through.
You know, part of the, I don't know here. I'm a little worried about this one. He's running a Chicago Bears paint scheme in Detroit area.
The Bears.
The Bears.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, where did Brian Macklin go?
24th right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, started third. What? There must be a story to that we missed.
Comers and goers, maybe, or Macklin could be on the struggle bus. I mean, there could be a lot of factors here, but yeah, 19 laps complete. But
I just wonder if he had contact with the wall somewhere along the line.
I don't see anything on his car, but I mean, you can't rule out the possibility. But I do want to bounce back to your fuel call real quick. I don't know what it is about Michigan, okay? But I can almost... This is how weird this is, okay? And I bring this up for a reason. Saturday, I ran a league race, okay? And it was a 50% fuel super speedway race. We were at Talladega. And with about 60 to go, I said to the guys, I said, don't worry, no matter how this race goes, there will be a caution at about 20 laps to go, 18 to 20 laps to go. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, because it'll become a fuel mileage race. What do you know? With 17 laps to go, the caution comes out in that race. So tonight, I'm just going to throw this out here. It's totally redonkulous. It's totally off the record. It's totally out there. When I say this, as Eric Arnold goes to the lead. Turn one. That was not off the record. This part is. There will be a caution somewhere around lap number 47. Ask me why. Ask me why.
Why?
Because you could put 43 electrical vehicles out here on this track and it'll find a way to be a fuel mileage race. It's the way Michigan is. Look at Auto Club, for example, earlier this season. It's a weird prediction, but just watch.
Okay.
It's just the way the racing works.
That's pretty impressive for Eric Arnold to come to the lead.
That is,
here.
yeah. The only thing I'm worried about, did he burn up his stuff?
I know the tire wear matters here, but when you could float the car in and let it find its place, take a set, drive it off, even with worn tires, you're still fairly compatible. I just watched Brian Macklin from the drop of the green. I did not see any contact. Mm-hmm. It almost looked like he opted to drop back where he is.
Right. Well, and look who else has joined this battle here. That inside the lane, that 91 car, Wesley Donaldson, in the WB diecast number 91 car there. Which, by the way, I guess this is a good time to segue to... I created a TikTok page last night. Look for Captain Esports Network on TikTok. Wesley's one of my, 9 followers I got now. I got to figure out what to do for TikTok videos. I've had ideas come to my head about carpool karaoke.
Can you dance?
No, you don't want that. I've thought about the idea of recaps of the races, maybe, since you only have a short amount of time.
Leah back out front here. He's going to cross the stripe in front of Arnold. Here comes EJ again with a little help from a friend.
Little? He got sent into turn 1 by Comstock. I mean, here's the thing, though. It's like a rubber band. Because you remember earlier, these guys were kind of spread out, and now here they come back together.
Yeah, this track does not exhibit that kite feeling coming off the corner. Sometimes the car gets loose, but it runs pretty straight, but it is bumpy. There's a handful of bumps.
Turn 2 maybe is... Oh, Calantoni's up on the wall. Him and Kevin DeBrown were racing a little close there. Turn 2, if there's anywhere, could be that spot because of the transition. Otherwise, I agree with you 100%.
Little bumpy on the entry to turn 1. Your car's porpoise and bump.
Mm-hmm.
There's a patch out of turn 2. There's a big bump down on the bottom of the front stretch, if you can call it front stretch.
That bump is... oh, Stoney gets loose in the middle. Yeah, that bump there, if you're not careful in certain cars, you'll actually get a 0x hitting that bump. I've had it happen. All right, so I mentioned earlier, we do get the onboard camera back here tonight. Let's check in and see how Mr. Foudy is doing here. Let me hit the right button. Bada boom, there. Oh, different view tonight. He's got his muscle shirt on tonight, it looks like here, so I'm looking on the stream. I'm trying to make him laugh. This is my way of seeing if he actually is watching the stream while he's racing.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's got turned into 3. Stony Benfield.
Oh, no.
And I don't think anybody hit him.
Whew, that was close, though.
Check it up, check it up. And for the second straight night, we go on board the first time with Seth, and a caution comes out. Oh, no! Stony and Doug come together finally. Stoney trying to get going, and Doug T-boned him.
Oh, no.
We need Stoney to keep going. For obvious reasons. All right, let's see what brought the caution out here for the first time. I mean, I looked over to the right, and I saw his car just get turned.
I don't know if he didn't know that Parker was underneath him, but it feels like he came down across the racetrack a little bit to Parker, who was down under him.
Oh, that front end went for a ride. Oh, who missed him, Barry? Oh, Joey with a miss. And
yeah,
then,
when we first looked over there, one car just almost tagged that back bumper as he was great that he locked it down and kept his foot on the brake.
That's going to make the highlight reel right there for the bad reasons. All right, leaders coming to pit road here at 27. You're going 4 tires and fuel here, obviously.
Big wide box, easy to get into, easy to slide through.
And easy to pierce your car in. Ask Mark Martin.
You've been running wide open 200 miles an hour. Now you're trying to do 55 and slide it to the perfect stop. It's a challenging thing to do.
know what else is challenging? One underrated thing here. You see over to the left of the screen here, there's a curving, believe it or not, that people don't notice there against the wall as race off pit road won by Eric Arnold. Good stop by his Voodoo men. So, all right, we're going to step away for a quick second. We're going to hear a word from our sponsor, 811. We'll come back and get you more racing here. 28 laps complete in the 811.org Cup Series from Michigan Speedway as you're watching the Captain Esports Network.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
All right, back we are here at the Michigan Speedway. First caution out. Stony Benfield getting turned. And great misses by a lot of drivers. I want to go back one more time. Let's look at the miss here by the 14 of Joey Jatina. If I could find Joey on my screen here. We're at pit road cam. I'm going to fire my camera operator again tonight. I seem to be running out of those. All right, let's go on board with the boss man here. Watch this. There goes Stoney to the infield here. Joey checks up. Good job. Ah! All right, going to come back to the green flag here. Guess I should turn your microphone on, huh?
You know, looking at that again, that was a really interesting kind of dynamic. The 81 of Josh Parker got a little tap just before he came up across the racetrack from the 12.
Uh-huh.
Scott Simley, who was drafting with him, and just might have been one of those things where...
Just kind of got his car upset maybe or something. Interesting.
Yeah.
Eric Arnold takes the top side as we go green lap 30. Comes right down across Donnie Leah's nose. You know, I just had a vision in my head. I'm trying to think of famous number 31s from the Chicago Bears. Eric Arnold's going to be impressed with me on this one. How about former Heisman Trophy winner, running back Rashaan Salam?
How about that? I'll take your word on that.
Rest in peace, by the way. I believe he passed away a couple years ago. I believe he played at UCLA. I'll have to fact check myself on that one. As O'Rourke goes elevator move to the top as he goes pushing on Arnold.
Perfect play for a caution for these guys. There were 28 laps, 4 sets of tires. You'd want to refresh at 25.
Oh, there he goes. Caution. Anthony Calatoni. I think I spooked him with the throwback there that I said of Rashaan Salam, and a caution comes out from him.
Yep.
That was a straight D-I-Do and a great job of keeping off the wall. And you know what happened here?
He squirted out of the pack.
That's fair. You know what? And I'm actually wrong. I thought he got loose on the bottom, but he actually got loose on the third groove.
I was just going to say how restarts lets you get Atlanta Brave. You really are going to drive it hard because you're trying to gain track position. You're in close proximity you're getting a lot of runs in the draft and dirty air, and you're also extremely liable for problems where you get sideways. The car will get really out of control sometimes coming up off the corner when you're hustling, especially if it's up off the bottom.
You know, I went to this view for a reason. For those watching on the stream, the rear chase view. And I bring that up. Let's watch. Okay, look to the right between Chad Coleman and Cal Antonio. You see this little black seam. I want you to keep an eye on that as Cal Antonio comes off the corner. And watch his right rear. I know it sounds weird that something like that will affect the car, but notice the car goes sideways as soon as he goes over it.
Yeah. And he would have squared it up here, but unfortunately that last little wobble to the left slowed him enough that he got tagged on the back end.
Great job by Kevin to stay off him.
And unlike the real world, you lock it down here and you don't end up with flat tires, and that is the right thing to do. Just keep it locked.
Yeah, lock it down here. In real life, they're actually have started to be taught, how weird this sounds, to let the car roll. And the reason they do that is because they try to keep the tires from blowing out and being flat. Because then when you get four flat tires with these low profiles, that car's not moving. So if you notice in some of these wrecks you see these days, if somebody goes spinning off of like a straightaway or something, you'll see them keep the car kind of rolling. And another thing they've taught to do, and I'm trying to figure out how you do this in this car. In the standard car, I could see this with the old 4 in reverse, is when cars go spinning anymore, you wonder how they get their tires going reverse. And they actually put the car in reverse to get the car backwards. And to keep it off the inside wall, which I think would like completely destroy your engine, like turn it backwards as they call it.
You would think.
Right? Couple little trends I've noticed. Let's have a chat with the Voodoo Man. Which, of course, saying Voodoo starts to remind me of the Godsmack song from back in the heyday. Great song. Eric Arnold hanging out with Stoney Benfield and John Mushton's in there with him.
A lot of drivers pitting here to top off with one to go.
As they top off, Eric leads. Eric, you got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir.
Hi, man. Well, you're definitely doing your thing tonight, 18th to 1st. Were you starting to, before that caution, obviously, which benefited you there, I think, from a standpoint, were you starting to feel any kind of tire wear to hurt you from all that hard racing?
It was so loose, but I don't know. It was exactly how I liked it, and I could drive the car, and I could keep up just fine. So I'm not too sure if, we put 20 more laps on, if it would have really affected me or not.
So a Chicago Bears paint scheme in Detroit land.
Yeah, I've never been much of a Detroit fan. and now I live in Michigan.
Obviously. Well, let me pop quiz you. Let's see if you get the same name I came up with. Give me a random number 31 from the Bears.
Oh, I have no idea, man. I'm too young.
Wow. He's going to need to look up Rashawn Salam.
I will have to.
So, all right. Well, hey, best of luck to you, and great job leading this race. Outside lane here, you going to do the old chop there on Donnie again?
I'm in second. We'll see what happens. Thank you, man.
Oh, well, there you go. And he's in second. So now Donnie gets to do it to him, I guess. Let's move him to his channel. As, see how much I pay attention? Let's get him to his Voodoo Racing. Here we go. As the green flag comes out.
He's so sharp he can't afford to pay attention.
I don't make enough money to pay attention.
Oh, and there goes the 42 across. The 84 hits the inside wall. That was a chain reaction, and the 84...
Oh, that's a broken car.
Killed it.
That, right now, he's off the track, so caution will come out. I mean, that is a broken everything arm on that right front. Tough break for Anthony Calantoni. See. Oh, that's the other replay. Sorry. We're going back to the last wreck.
That's just a checkup on the outside lane. Somebody missed a gear. Not sure what's what there, but that you could see the accordion come back somewhere about where Mike Montesi was. Then Hollifield Fowler, Stenzel, all of them were involved
Ouch.
in the end. He hit that little jut out there.
Yeah, I have to see where the checkup came from here. Was it just... Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see like any kind of a spontaneous movement or something that...
Yeah, it was right in line there with Joey Jattina, but it almost looked like it started ahead of it.
Well, as we're still green, let's go. I'll go back to it here one more time to the restart here. Let me
Yeah,
start it.
I see where it is. The 23 got into the back of the 43.
So Van Schaik.
It looked like a...
Well,
a
here's the
boulder
first
shot.
problem you have. Let's look at how they're restarting here. We brought this up a couple weeks ago. You got
Huge gap.
all these gaps right here, and all these cars are tight up. Look at this. These guys are all tight together. Then you get Jeff Ryan gets up there to Nelson. He's got to check up. Then the next car checks up. Then the next car checks up. Remember the rule of 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, there's about 7 in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call. Oh, caution back out. Ron Holyfield looks like is slowed up here. I don't see anything on my highlights, so it might have just been a simple... Oh, somebody's spinning up ahead here. Off turn 2.
Maybe Doug Roth?
It might have been the Roth.
Yeah. That's a kind of like a 3-wide sandwich over there. Sandwich.
You know what? Let me throw a shout out to Doug Roth, by the way. Oh, little argy bargy. Doug and Jeff Ryan come together, and then and Joey Jattina nowhere to go.
Straighten him out though.
He did. Doug Roth has a little one who is racing limited late models down at Hickory. And I don't know how he did this weekend, but I know he was working on like 5 straight poles. And that's a series you can actually watch on Flow every Saturday night. Because Landon Huffman usually goes down there and dominates the supers, or the stocks.
I think he did this week too.
Well, there you go.
No, I didn't make the Roth connection. I know that Doug Sigmund works with one of those teams and supplies their company a lot of brakes to those
Or is it
teams.
Sigmund who's kid? That's one of the Dougs has a kid that's dominating Hickory. I think it is Roth.
I know Sigmund worked with one of the teams there. That is a pretty stout team. Pro System Brakes supplies a lot of brakes to the NASCAR and late model teams, if I'm not mistaken. Hence the sponsorship on the Pro System Brakes Camaro of Doug
I
Sigmund.
see that. There's the Pro System Brakes number 04 on pit road. Appreciate the viewers watching tonight here on the stream. If you get a chance, hit that subscribe button, by the way, as we work our way towards 1,000 subscribers. We're getting there, slowly.
I would chalk that one up just to hard-nosed racing.
Yeah.
Up off the corner, door to door.
Well, the one thing I'm going to point out here, and it's not any kind of a rip or a down on Jeff Ryan. Jeff Ryan is one of those who does not. He will race you hard. He doesn't give you an inch unless like it's necessary or whatever. And when he feels like he's holding a position, he feels right there. So in that situation, he felt like he was holding that lane solid. And well, unfortunately, there was contact between the 3 and 43, and the caution came out. That's the way it goes.
Sigmund, Roth, and Stenzel beat the pace car out. They're trying to hustle around here on the apron out of turn number 2 to catch the field. This is 1 to green for Donnie Leah out front over E.J. O'Rourke, David Comstock, Eric Arnold, and Kevin DeBrown running 5th. It's still pretty darn impressed with Eric Arnold, that run from 18th to be up into the top 5. He sounded pretty confident there in that interview.
He definitely did, and I know one guy that always sounds confident. Unfortunately, though, it has not gone well for him tonight. The 84 of Calantoni. I I slid him up here in the booth, and Anthony, that's a tough situation there. Was that one of those just back end came around on you, just surprisingly?
Yeah, I didn't let the tires heat up, and it just came loose. Just got to start wiggling, and I thought I caught it. Then it did that quick jolt back to the left, and Kevin actually thought he got into me. I went back and watched it. He didn't even touch me, and I kind of figured he didn't touch me because I didn't feel that bang from behind.
Well, that was a tough break there. Of course, that led to the unfortunate restart there. That looked like it hurt a little bit on that left front.
Yeah, my left leg's gonna hurt tomorrow in the truck, but hey, that's I guess what I get for making a mistake there.
There you go, man. Well, hey, best of luck, and let me pop quiz you. I gave I threw a thing at Eric Arnold. I gotta get him some Chicago Bear knowledge. He didn't know a random 31 for the Bears. Give me a random 31 for the Giants. I mean, there's only one.
I don't know, Chris.
Jason Sehorn. I don't know.
Could have fooled me.
Anyways, all right. Well, unfortunate deal there. I'm just throwing random things out there, just having fun tonight. So tough break, man. Keep your head up. I know you've had some great runs here lately, so hopefully we'll get you back on track here come Wednesday night or next time we race.
Yeah, Chris, definitely. I was actually feeling pretty good about this race, and I guess I shouldn't say that too much because usually this happens.
Well, that's Joey Jatina, though, not you.
Well, that's our buddy Irby Irvin up there, in the top spot.
Well, real quickly, how's the track driving out there? Because like you're seeing this 2 and 3 wide stuff.
Other than the looseness, it's really, really fun. That first run was stellar. All that tight racing, and then about 15-20 laps, it just it starts getting loose a little bit. It depends on how bad you're cooking that left rear.
Right.
So.
That's interesting.
It's really, really fun.
Nice. All right, man. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just when you don't make a rookie mistake like that.
We're all human, So, all right, buddy. Shake it off. We'll talk soon.
We'll see you next week in Indy.
Sounds good, buddy. Anthony Calantoni, unfortunately, behind the wall. I think I threw him under. Oh, door banging there. Eric Arnold. Hello, hey, how you doing to Kevin DeBrown?
Wow, these guys are really tight coming up off that corner. They got to make sure they have themselves clear when they slide up into that outside lane trying to carry all the speed.
I don't know.
A couple whoop-de-doos there.
I don't know what in the world that these guys have all of a sudden done here on pit stops. If it's the aggressiveness now, knowing fuel mileage is kind of out the window a little bit as of right now, but they have gone right. Josh Parker, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many cars he's going to pass? Slide job coming on Kelly.
Yeah, I have no words. I mean, when you're running this way, but he made an interesting comment that the left rear, left side tires wear on this racetrack.
Is that because the car's sliding maybe and dragging the left rear?
I just think it's the way these cars run off the track bar. They tend, not the track bar, but just the way that the caster and camber are set up in the rear. They try to drive a lot of grip out of that left rear.
That makes sense. Look at 3 wide as O'Rourke heads for Brooklyn. He was heading for Detroit just now.
Wow.
I mean, O'Rourke went from the top groove to about 3 lanes in the apron.
It looks like a Daytona Talladega race out there, as wide as
4
they are.
wide.
Incredible. They are 5 wide.
And Josh Parker is in the lead, by the way. Don't ask how Josh Parker got to the lead. Wasn't he just like 10th? I'm looking at pit laps. Everybody pitted at the same lap, so it's not like he's got fresher tires.
Ain't no way.
I got nothing.
It just ain't no way. This is going to keep going. There's no way.
Well, I mean, look what lap's next. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I'm just...
But when you have all these cars on top of each other, nose to tail, the runs that you get in the draft and the stack, if you're brave enough to dive down underneath and get to 3 right, sometimes when you come off that bottom, when you turn from the top, you can really get a good run up off the corner if you let the car swing.
Oh.
Excuse me, pardon me, hip check.
Jose and Comstock come together, both save it. Good job on both.
That's what I'm talking about. That run up off, the car gets nervous. It might swing back, and if you have somebody making a run underneath you on the inside, you're going to do that hip check thing. That's what that was right there.
And to mention the, you were talking about the top to bottom move, which you're coming off the corner, you try to straighten it out almost like a diamond. The one thing that can be tricky here, you could try that here. The problem is, remember, that bottom part of the track is a different banking. It can upset the car.
If you ease into turn one and roll the bottom, you can pick up the throttle in the middle and drive off straight to that red mark.
Right.
And the car will stick. But if you drive it in hard and turn it down and you're running hard on the right side and you come up off the bottom on that banking, the car has absolutely no grip. It'll slide out on you. But right here, we're seeing the snake down the front straightaway. Certainly, unlike other racetracks that we've seen this season, this place, the draft is real, and it's unbelievable how much a run. Now, the question about whether the side draft works and you could pull a car back or not, I don't know if the jury is out, but I honestly felt like what I've noticed racing this track is if you can get your right front fender to just in front of the number, to the back of the front wheel, turn up against the car and turn down, I really did feel like the side draft was effective here.
Interesting. Which, and one other factor about this track that plays a big role, we haven't seen it yet, but I mean, it seems to happen once a race anytime here, is the way people turn into the corners. And I bring that up from a state of, especially going into turn 3 and 4, you'll get people that try to shallow enter. You'll get people that try to enter late with an apex. And sometimes if you're the car on the inside and somebody on the outside tries to turn in early, you get contact and a caution.
Yeah.
But
I feel like this has a bit of a Charlotte kind of feel. A lot of drivers will sweep up to the fence and arc the corner down in, maybe even the way Pocono, you turn it in.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Late turn in. Or you stay up there in that second line, especially now that the tires are worn. Now remember, we had a caution at lap 26, 27.
Yep.
We're working lap 51, so they're at the same state they were. We heard what Anthony said, that the car gets loose the longer the run goes. So you'll see a lot of these drivers move up to the outside of the racetrack just so they're not holding so much tension on that right rear. And man, I don't even know where to watch.
Yeah, you're watching everywhere right now. I do want to update a couple of things. Joey Zatina, Brian Macklin, and a lot of guys from like 25th on back did come to pit road at the 38 caution. So they might have a little bit more fuel. Now, I don't know how damaged some of these cars are and off the pace they could be, but that could be something to watch here later on in this race. And let's check on something. We've left them alone kind of tonight, so let me give them a little shout out here. Let's jump on board with the one car of Seth Foudy. Seth right now running in the
You know what happened
13th position. Yeah, hey, well, I should have did this on lap 47. Let's watch his hands here a little bit. He's got the gloves on and everything. He's full blown tilt, ready to go racing here. It's behind Tommy Ryan there. He's got the death grip, he's got the 10 and 2 on the wheel.
The desk setup looks just like mine.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm trying to see, I'm looking at his legs to see if he's using any brakes. I don't see really the left leg moving at all. Right back to the throttle there.
Might have tapped it some.
The one thing I noticed, he has got a lot of slack in his wheel. Because like last night I was watching him fight a loose car, and he wasn't moving that wheel much. It looked like it was loose, but then when you see it, it's like, watch his hands. All right, there he's loose. There he's a little loose.
That's a byproduct of a really big wheel.
Yeah.
You could put a lot of input in it, and it's a subtle movement.
Let's see, is that a Simpson shifter? Can't tell what that logo is. That's an interesting 6 gears I see on it, which is what most of us have. I'm going to go ahead and let you in on a little secret. When I drive these cars, I actually use the paddles.
I do too.
He's doing a good job
I
there.
just love, you see what he's looking at out the windshield, but he's watching both the car in front of him and scanning what everybody's doing.
Oh, yeah.
6, 7, 8 cars ahead of him. There's smoke up ahead of him out of his stencil car. He saw that. Guaranteed. He picks up every visual clue of how those cars in front of him come up off the corner.
Yeah, he sees Jeff Ride maybe coming out. He's going to poke over to the left here. You can see his triple monitors. Oh, hold on, Seth. He's focused.
Yeah, chased it out of 4 there. As usual, the car just gets that, we talk about it. You run in the slip coming up out of the corner.
Yeah.
Until it finally takes a pick, and every once in a while. Yeah, right now Josh Parker is just kind of leading the way. Everybody's willing to follow him like the Pied Piper. It's kind of settled down. We've lost that 2, 3, 4 wide charges. I think as this run goes, handling is going to go away for a couple of these guys. They won't be as brave trying to make these runs. And then when it gets single file, like we see in the real world, it's hard to pull down the bottom when the top lane has all the momentum.
I do want to mention for you guys who just saw, obviously, us riding there with Seth, I've had a couple people reach out to me. If you're interested, if you're watching from another league when we broadcast that respective night, I mean, anybody wants to do something like that, just let me know and we'll make it work. I think it's a really cool feature to watch, seeing the onboard of a car and seeing the guy out there working his tail off. And, yeah, just let me know and we can do it. So I know... like I said, one other driver here racing tonight. We weren't able to get it done quick enough, but I know he wants to do something too, so that'd be cool. Might have to get Kevin on a Sunday night. Just saying.
I'll set you up for Wednesday night if I can race this week.
Problem is I race on Wednesday night. How am I going to see you stream?
Wow. I saw Rivera is completely loose into 3. He backed up a little bit to Gillenwater behind him. Gillenwater gave him a little tap, but was able to see him backing into him. You watch the driver in front of you, and if you see him coming backward to you, you kind of squeeze out of the throttle. And you have to make a decision whether you're going to put any brakes in. And if you do, it's going to mess up your run equally.
Yeah, you got to be very careful, especially with these cars. Being the way they are here, just wanted to check on something here because it's showing on my stream that the Sim500 post isn't working, but it is working, so. Alright, good. Anyways, had to be my producer self for a second. But Donnie Leah leads Josh Parker as Leah did make the pass for the lead just a couple minutes ago as we were, I think, watching Seth Foudy. So let's actually go back to it. A traditional Michigan pass gets the draft down to turn 3 and just drives it in there to the bottom. Parker lets him go, and he slides on up. So, great pass there by the Jimmy John's Chevrolet.
You have got to go back to that moment for Eric Arnold a moment ago on lap 59 coming out of 4.
All right.
Went into turn 3, got down, cut it to the white line, and I think he might have been holding it a little too hard. The car snapped across. He slid across the entire field. Watch this.
Oh, slide!
Up against the fence. Everybody saw him. They all gave him space. It doesn't look that exciting there, but let me tell you what a moment he had.
Is that, now let me ask that, is that a slide job on the field or did he slide job himself?
He's just trying to keep it out of the fence. I mean, his car was pointed down. He was going around in the apron, straighten him out, but when he turned right, he slid literally up across every driver. They all watched it happen. That's that comment that I made about real world. They could see everybody going through and what they're experiencing.
Right, and that's the
It's all
difference.
coming, and they planned an escape route.
And that's the difference between somebody who, the reference sometimes if you're running NIS or something, you'll hear them say, look past your hood. Basically, if you got somebody that's literally looking off the front of their hood at what's going on, you can't see what's going on in the front. And that's something I've taught myself to do through, me driving for FedEx, is we're told one of our things is aim high in steering, which means look 15 seconds ahead. Obviously, you're not 15 second separation here right now. You're only, 2-3 seconds off the leader. So my eyes, while I'm turning, are actually, part of my peripherals are on the car in front of me, but I'm looking up front to see what's going on.
I'm telling you, every lap there's something. Nelson Rivera almost flying over the 91 car. He was down low and couldn't get the sweep into the corner. The car pushed, carried all the speed to the back bumper. Every lap, in and out of these corners, these guys have their hands full, especially now that the tire wear has set in.
Richard Beasley checking in on the stream. I think that's who William is. Only Beasley guy I know.
We have a little bit of a different dynamic now, right? These top six have broken away. Then there's a squirt of cars, and then there's another squirt of cars, and then you go back to Doy Woods, who has not made any noise tonight, running back there behind that lead pack. Then Macklin and a couple of his friends, and then a couple of stragglers out in the back. So this is the first time from this event that we've seen the field kind of strung out.
And this is the longest run of the race. We are officially in the fuel window. So, from here, you can pit and make it the rest of the way on fuel. So, this is going to be tricky now. What happens from this point? So, most of the field pitted at 27. You do 50 for 27. It's 77, which is about 10 laps, or about 14 laps from now, I should say. You got some people that could maybe try the short pit. Now, believe it or not, tires do play a role here at this Michigan Speedway, even though it didn't seem to today and yesterday in the races. Now Dalton and Leah switching up the lead. So the question going to be, when do you come to pit road? You want to be the first to pit last, or do you want to let somebody else make the first move and you come immediately?
Yeah, the question lies with you losing a lap, and then the caution comes out and you're toast.
Right.
You would be the first one, only one lap down, though, if you were out in the front. But that's not going to help you because you're going to cycle around and have to start behind everybody. So I think you're going to run the distance and see what you get. I am so impressed with someone like, say, Donnie Leah and Bob Gillenwater. These guys show up periodically, and to run in the top 10 for both of them is just amazing to me how they're able to do that.
Some great runs going on here. One car I thought Gillenwater was on the apron for a second there. I thought something was going on. I thought we were going to have our first broadcasters jinx in a while.
So a different dynamic now. You might get the run, and you might be tempted. You might, that happens. Pull down and try to get that run, especially on entry to the corner. But now with the car being loose, it's just not going to turn in the same way it was before. I saw Michael Kelly about 3 laps ago get a good run down the backstretch, turn into 3, go down to that bottom line, and the car stepped out and he gave back anything that he potentially was looking to gain. So it's a hard road to hoe down there, but every once in a while you could get the right draft on the entry to the corner from the high side and turn the car down low, and you're able to make a pass. Kelly right now on the back of the stack trying to work these guys, and just is unable to get the air he needs in order to pull it forward.
I was going to go back to Kelly, but the leaders have about wrecked 4 times in the last half lap. They are racing real hard here. Tyler and Donnie about leaned on each other and almost wrecked, and then Parker got there and started pushing Leah. So, it's getting a little hectic up here at the front. They hit each other again!
Excuse me, pardon me. Coming through. That's just a polite tap.
Wow, I just heard Donnie shift.
You really have to be careful trying to pull back up in line, too.
Yeah, because the run on the top side is usually pretty good. And look at this, it's brought, you mentioned Mike Kelly, he's in this battle now. Chad Coleman is now here. You have Eric Arnold is back in this picture. Nelson Rivera bringing Comstock with him, top 10, all under a blanket.
The top line feels so good. You get such a pull out of turn 2 and you draw up, and then you get boxed in like Kevin DeBrown is, where there's just no lane to pass.
Ooh, Dalton got tight.
Loose, wow. Tight loose, pushy loose.
Front end finally gripped, and he had the back end about swap. Good save on his end. Gonna lose, what, 6 spots almost?
He's going to live to fight another day, though. Look at that 38 up in the mix. Oh, that 22 looks really in there again.
Rivera in the wall.
To the fence.
Yep, Comstock got loose and turned him into the wall, and he's off the pace now.
Yeah, I think Nelson maybe broke a toe link on that right side. The way he slapped that right rear. That was one of those nervous moments, and he's going to head to pit road here.
Yeah, tough break for the 22. Just unfortunate. It looks like Comstock just got loose above him and just right reared him. Total
I think
incidental.
Nelson had a moment before that, though.
Oh. Shall we go
That
back
had a little something to do with that. Again, one of those runs in the draft. Pulled the car down. Yeah, Nelson's car stepped out.
Where's it? Oh, yeah, he's down here now. All right, here we go.
And he slid up across the track,
Oh,
and then
yep.
just as he caught it.
And that would cause Comstock to get loose. Okay, that makes sense then. Everybody else
maybe
scattered.
Right front, not the right rear. I thought, although he went in, changed tires, and he's good to go. There's a new element in the model where it'll bend the tire, but it won't break the toe link. Seen that, right?
Interesting. Which is
If you change the tires, it fixes the damage.
Yeah, but even when a bent toe link in this case, doesn't that eventually it'll break because of it being compromised?
Oh,
Kelly, easy.
Hold on. These guys are they're like a fighter squadron of jets coming off the corner here.
Hey, I don't remember Wesley Donaldson being one of the names I mentioned just now, did I? What is he doing?
You see who led that lap?
I did, Chad Coleman, the Iron Man.
It's been a long time since Chad Coleman led a lap. Good to see him up in this mix again.
Yeah, he didn't race last week at all. Took the week off, and then last night had a halfway decent finish, even though he was involved in one of the wrecks that actually took out some of the guys running in the playoffs.
Okay, a little cleaner out of turn 4 this time.
It took a break there for a second. And Tyler Dalton, the pit road. Here we go with pit stops.
Yeah. I see the 17 also on pit road.
See Stoney Benfield, he's been on pit road. Jeff Ryan is in. Also the 77, or Robert Friery. I'm sorry, Stoney Benfield has not been on pit road for a while. He just pitted too. As there he goes, leading with 4 tires and fuel. Doug Sigmund coming in.
So great to see Gerald Livingston
Yes.
back in the mix here. He's doing 4 tires and fuel here in the number 96.
Made the return last week.
Yep.
As Dalton leaves, 4 tires and fuel for him. And look at this. Dalton actually is going to get out of pit road ahead of the leaders here. There's something you don't see often. And I think I know why. And I'm going to peek over here real quickly. No, he did a regular pit stop. Never mind.
When they get to him, what's going to happen?
They might not get to him with the tire wear.
They're in line from a draft, right? They're going to pick him up. And I believe they're going to blow by him, but he should be able to blend right in, and then with fresh tires, he'll be able to cut, and he should be able to sit out in front of this stack if things run their course.
I think he's far enough out. He's going to be okay.
I'll tell you what, they don't seem to be closing on him. I
No.
would have thought they would have had a little closing time.
Semisonic.
Can't stay here.
That's actually my graduation song, believe it or not. So 25 laps to go. We have not seen, we've started to see pit stops, but not the last round of pit stops have not been completed yet. Is Mike Kelly diving in? Here he comes. Locks it down. 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. Scott Simley coming behind him.
39.331 for Tyler Dalton. He's running qualifying laps. These guys out front are running 46.58. So you could see the difference of tire wear, and Dalton is flying. So yeah,
Now
who
the thing
knows?
about
This may really,
yeah, and let's add
it may be
this.
the answer.
Let's add this too. How tight the packs have been. I mean, Tyler could have easily just jumped from like 10th to 1st in one lap if he gets off pit road here.
2 with Mike Kelly in, 12 is in. Last week's winner, Scott Simley.
And Simley's going to get eaten up. Mike Kelly, nuts.
Yep, they're going to blow by him.
It's going to be close.
You know that song, Blew By You?
Yeah, Linda Ronstadt.
I have musical Tourette's tonight.
I actually did not. This is going to sound weird. I do not know who Linda Ronstadt is. I've never heard the song Blew By You.
No.
Where do I know the reference from, you might ask?
This-
There's an old game as we got some cars coming in here. Looks like see Parker, Coleman, a whole bunch of cars coming in. Make sure you guys know where your pit stalls are. There was an old MLB The Show game, and I forget what year. Oh, look at the Brown and Wesley got together there. Buck Martinez, who is a former broadcaster for ESPN and so on and so forth. I remember for some reason this line in the game. I think it's like the show 99 or something, like a long time ago. And I remember him saying, like, one time I threw a fastball for a strike, and he's like, "Oh, it was a Linda Ronstadt fastball, blew by you." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, there you go. Charles Von Schaik, he got 4 tires and fuel. He's going to come right in behind this little batch of leaders that pitted.
Yep.
And Tyler Dalton, gone past these guys.
And you see it up there on the track map, top side there. You see the 38 and everybody going into turn 1 and 2. Tyler Dalton is about half straight away up on those guys now. It's Gillenwater, Comstock.
Now the question is, if they get nose to tail, will they be able to run him down?
I think they will because of just, 4 laps, 5 laps now on these tires. I think there's going to be a little difference there. But the thing is, catching's one, passing's another.
So we were looking at that strategy of the 30 car. Guess who's leading?
The speeding police have hit Bob Gillenwater.
Just locked him up as he pulled off.
Yep,
Oh, that really sucks for Bob.
Here's, you know what? Here's something we don't get to do often. Let me pull up the onboards here as Seth Foudy comes to pit road. Let's watch a pit stop live. Here you go. In there, goes to his mouth for some reason real quickly. Gonna try to adjust something there. Back up to his shifter. Getting left side tires over here. You see his pit crew going to work.
Maybe make the noise.
There he goes. Catches first. He's got the sequential shifter. You see that?
I'm a little behind the stream, but yeah, I see
He's
it.
pulling down on the, yeah. Got Backlund there behind him, trying to keep it loose. Looks at his mirror, checks up the track, should be good. Yeah, he's sequential. He's up to 4th right now.
It is an art and a science to get off a pit road
Yes.
and run that as fast as some of these guys do. It just astonishes me.
On newer tires, by the way, which feel like ice skates. Well, there you go.
Summer's Eve. Sponsorship on Joe Hudson. He's in the grass trying to get to pit road.
That is not how you get to pit road, Joe Hudson.
No, he's quite backwards. At least up.
That code did not deserve that. That's going to hand the lead to Doy Woods now. Doy and Stenzel, and then it'll hand it back to Tyler Dalton. And Dalton is going to have about a 4-second lead on Nelson Rivera, believe it or not. And then Mike Kelly ended up being the first off pit road in this pack. And then look who's behind Mike Kelly. Doug Roth.
Now Rivera, like the 19 pitted early, and they have run him down
Oh! That almost
and
got
run
bad.
past.
I was about to verify Roth did pit at 38. He has not been on pit road yet, and Kevin DeBrown about sideswiped him.
Yeah, 46 laps so far for Doy Woods and Scott Stenzel.
So they can go about
And
4 or
Tyler
5 more.
pitted 11 ago, and Mike Kelly pitted 8.
I like this strategy from Doy and Scott. You're not fast enough to win this race, but why not go as long as you can? It brings everybody to pit road with you. You have an extra set of tires, and you just stole the track position. I love that strategy.
And if there's a caution somewhere in the mix, you're going to cycle out on top.
Exactly.
Tyler Dalton at 39.469. Mike Kelly at 39.268 last time around. But I tell you, Jose Gonzalez and Jeff Ryan are like playing patty cake here on the front stretch.
Stenzel to the front, goes past Doy Woods in turn 3 and 4. I believe this is. Yes. All right, so we've cycled through real quick. We owe 811 those guys a break here real quick. So
Oh,
uh-oh. I didn't like that.
Jose Gonzalez just tagged Eric Arnold out of and got him sideways, and Eric just kept his foot in it. Out of turn number 2. There's action everywhere.
There sure is. Let's step away real quick here from 811 as you're watching the Sim500 Cup Series from Michigan on the Captain Esports Network.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
Back we are here at Michigan. Tyler Dalton is the guy to watch right now. Stenzel and Doy Woods, they have not pitted yet. But when they do come to pit road, this is going to be the leader of the race. Tyler Dalton has 5 seconds on Mike Kelly, Chad Coleman, Donnie Leah, Kevin DeBrown, and Josh Parker. Now those guys are kind of in a pack here as here comes Stenzel to pit road. The question, did Tyler do enough in 3 to 5 laps? Is the time that he spent on the newer tires a far enough distance to make up for the time he'll lose to the other cars on newer tires? Well, yeah. Oh! That time by side, Coleman ran a 39.56, a 40.05 for Dalton. So it was only a half-second separation. And right now it's 3.9, so I don't know what Tyler wants right now. I want to say does he want a caution to try to get track position? Does he not, to see how this goes? I mean, right. Kevin DeBrown, Josh Parker, they are all trying to push. Donnie Leah here, Wesley Donaldson, Mike Kelly all in this battle. As Tyler ran a 40.24 last time by to a 39.50. That's 3/4 of a second right there. As we come to 10 laps to go. 40.21 Tyler. 39.64 Coleman. Now, another thing Tyler could be doing here is playing possum. I mean, Tyler could simply be backing up his car a little bit to allow those guys to burn their tires up trying to catch him, and then all of a sudden it evens out. Very tough to do, but it can be done.
They've singled out, and they're actually starting to draw away. The two got a little sideways off of turn 4 last time, and he was leading one lap, and now he's running 7th right now and in jeopardy of falling off of this group. His tires just 2 laps older than them, but I don't know if he has the pace to stay with them. It's Donaldson, Parker, Brown, Leah, and Coleman on the chase after the number 19. As yeah, I see Tyler driving down underneath the 04. He's just got to run it out.
40.26 that time by for Dalton. So Dalton's running consistent laps. Unfortunately, they are consistently faster behind him.
A 39.7 to a 40.2. So certainly these guys are gobbling up that track space. You have to wonder too sometimes that you get behind a car and your car pushes, it doesn't turn as well.
Right.
So I don't know if Tyler sees it as a blessing or a curse that some of these guys are in front of him, but you could clearly see the gap closing. Before Tyler was coming off turn 4, they were entering 3. Now as he crosses the stripe, they're only about 20 car lengths behind him.
Tyler actually is doing a great job running consistent laps. I mean, his last 3 laps, 40.26. That's something I have a hard time doing.
Now the question is, what will these guys do to scrap to get to that top position? We saw the 38 go under the 2 in a pretty aggressive move to get out in front of this stack. Josh Parker out of turn 2 that time tried to turn underneath Kevin DeBrown. The car wobbled up out of the corner, was a little unstable, and he was not able to pull the move. Now in turn 3 and 4, he's able to draw along. He drives off of him down to the bottom apron to get away from the air, but drops back a little bit. He's just trying to see if he can claw on this bottom line, and he's going to lose the position to Wesley Donaldson.
As they come up on Stony Benfield here, the second place driver and Donnie Leah there trying to get around Coleman. I'm really, Dalton ran a 36 that time by. I'm starting to ponder here if Tyler is playing possum, because he's running consistent lap times while these guys are burning up their tires and they're getting slower and slower.
I think it's hound dog, man. They're chasing that rabbit. They're going to run him now.
I agree with you. I'm looking at what I think could be happening here just from peeking at the lap times here. I mean, Tyler's times aren't falling off. The others are.
I just wonder if any of these drivers out in the back have some wherewithal to be able to drive up and get into this mix. As Mike Kelly drops back, you got Comstock, right? Feel the wake, can feel the draft, and by the time they get out of turn 4 next time, they're going to be 2 in. Here he comes out of turn 4. He's to the back bumper, just like we thought he would be. Will he pull low and go to make the pass? Down he goes. No block from Tyler. They're going to come up and side draft each other, and they make contact on the entry to the corner. And again, they're bouncing off each other. This is not going to work. Door coming up out of the... Wow, I just lost words. As they come to the backstretch, I have no idea how they hung onto that car. We're going to go 3 wide. Incredible.
Yeah,
No,
I'm having all types of technical issues over here. Now I can hear you clearly. That's good. I think I'm back now, but I'm watching this fierce battle go on.
They were 3 wide against each other coming out of the corner. Now Tyler has slipped back. The top 4 have slid underneath him. They're side by side. Donnie Leah has come up, and Josh Parker just pounding his way trying to get through here.
So Tyler did get caught, unfortunately, falls back to 6 here. Leah to the lead, 2 laps to go. I don't know if I had a power cycle or something happened where all of a sudden I heard my microphone pop and then you started sounding like you went out of space.
I heard squeaky like a mouse.
Yeah, so that was weird. But hey, good to be back, and apologies for the technical difficulties.
Well, Donnie Leah, what a great job he did. I mean, he just never lifted, showed no fear, and drove out now with 2 car lengths out of turn number 2 over Josh Parker. Josh might need somebody to his back bumper to help him push, but the draft's so strong down the backstretch that he's drawing in close.
As we get the final lap here at Michigan, 2 miles, can Wesley get to the back of Parker and push him? Parker got a little free there. That might have hurt the momentum. But Donaldson on the back, literally bump drafting him down the straightaway. Into 3, here comes Parker, sending it. Gets a little free on the bottom. Donnie Leah.
Have enough.
Oh yeah, Leah gonna carry the momentum off. Matter of fact, they're gonna battle for second behind Donnie Leah, Michigan winner from the pole. Wow.
Wow. What a race.
Yeah, Donaldson second.
Coleman comes home in 4th. DeBrown 5th.
Dalton ends up 6th with the pit strategy, which I don't remember exactly where he pitted, but there might actually be a little net gain there.
I just feel like had the 91 been to the back bumper, the 81 slid some out of turn number 2, and in that wobble he opened up a car length and a half, and then while Donaldson pushed him to the lead, he just didn't have enough to cover the gap. But good on Donnie Leah, man. Shows up here and shows these guys that he has got what it takes to get the job done. And then it was just a side slapper on the way. I didn't think Wesley Donaldson would be able to hold that momentum to the outside, but pulled it off and finished second here tonight.
You saw Donnie Parker there at the start-finish line. Let's actually, since we had the issues here, I want to go back and show, I think it started about 5 laps to go or so.
It's when they caught Dalton and everything just became...
Everything went haywire on my stream, so I want to be able to show you guys the laps there of what took place here. So there's Coleman and Donnie Leah. And you see Dalton up ahead here as they come up on Stony Benfield. So yeah, this is lap 93 here, so let's actually jump.
You'll be looking for lap 97 down the backstretch.
There you go. Let's do that. So we'll start here at lap 97. And this is where Donnie Leah makes the pass. And now my camera's...
There's no
I'm trying.
reason to see how they could have come out of that corner. The 3 of them laying on each other.
I saw the contact just now. Here we go. Now we got it for you. Also, yeah, even you can see where I'm just completely having blinking issues here. As they go down the back straightaway. And it jumps right to the front straightaway, and there's the contact. I mean, Donnie and Tyler just...
Well, Tyler was on the high lane, and Kevin DeBrown went down in between the 2 of them. Leah was on the bottom, and as they entered turn 3, Leah and Kevin DeBrown were rubbing against each other with Tyler a half a lane up. When they got out of turn number 4, of course, Donnie had to come up the racetrack, pushed Brown up into him. They bounced off of each other, and they were 3 wide at the stripe.
Wow. Yep, that's exactly what we're seeing here. So Parker, and then there's Donaldson making the push on Kevin. Coleman's like, I hope all 5 of you ready.
Bounce. It was like a pick and roll there. Now, unfortunately for the 19, no help.
Yeah, and that's when it cuts out
right?
again.
The 81 and the 91 shoved their partners in that do-si-do.
that's how it all finishes up here. So that was crazy. So apologies for the technical issues, but it worked out for Donnie Leah going to victory lane here. But first, let's talk with our third place finisher, and that being the driver of the 81 car, and Josh Parker getting the great finish on his part. As Josh joins us up here in chat. Josh, obviously a wild race from start to finish, and including a middle part of the race where you went from like 15th to 1st in like 3 laps.
Yeah, that was so much fun. I hope it was fun to watch because it was fun to drive. Yeah, that was crazy. It was a good race. It was a good win by Donnie. I gave it a last ditch effort there to maybe scare him, get him loose, and but he's too good.
He's kind of got some experience at that.
Right. That's what I was thinking. He's got a little more experience than I do.
Well, hey man, great. Obviously, great race. I know you've got some momentum off the win a couple weeks ago, and just continuing to carry that momentum.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I should have. I still am kind of mad about New Hampshire. I feel like I should have won that race. I actually ran a lot of fixed races that week, and I don't know if New Hampshire fits my style. So I was kind of pissed. I wrecked early, and I came back and won Pocono. I just knew this was going to be a good stretch. Actually, Michigan was going to be interesting, but I ended up running good here. It was fun. India normally I'm really good at, so I think I have a pole there in the Coke Series back in like 2011, but it doesn't mean anything now. But still, it matters to me.
Hey, that's all that matters, man. Well, hey, it was a fantastic run for you tonight in that car, starting from the back as you always do, and work your way up there and send some shout outs to whoever you like to.
Yeah, only a couple more weeks of that. Once the playoffs starts, I'm going to start qualifying. But yeah. So it's that's always my deals. I won't qualify for the regular season, and then now when the playoffs start, kind of take a little more seriously. But good for shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast, team name, Chad, Comstock, Donnie for the win, Kevin. Yeah, it was fun.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations, and we will see you next week. It's the Grand National cars. Trying to think off the top of my head, Pocono. So we'll see you then.
See you then.
All right, buddy. Josh Parker finishes third tonight in the number 81. So we move him down to team name. And a very good run for Wesley Donaldson. Finishes in the second position. I gotta go find Wes here. They're down here in the 33.
Such a subtle dude. I don't grasp how he's so chill after running a race.
Gosh, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously he's got some experience doing some other things on iRacing, but yeah, we'll let Kev. Let's let you talk to Wes.
Yeah, Wesley, those last couple laps were just astonishing. You guys beating and banging off each other. I have no idea how you can run so hard on the edge, door to door like that, and still bring it back. It took us off of turn 4 on the final lap.
It's almost like hard to describe. It's just so all over the place, so chaotic constantly there. But I knew at least on that last lap there, I felt like my best chance was to push the 81 there, get up, and hopefully they doored off each other and everything. But it's just, you're sliding around all over the place. Draft is crazy. It was tons of fun though.
Not to take away with the finish and the win or whatever, but did you guys ever have a moment where you were wondering whether you'd be able to chase Tyler Dalton down with this strategy?
I think early in that run, like just looking at times, we weren't gaining a ton. But I'm guessing his tires just started to kind of fall off more once we started taking off. Like it looked like close to like 8/10 of a second or so every lap. I knew we were probably going to catch him. Once we sniffed draft, it was going to be over at that point. But it was a little concerning right there at the beginning of the run.
There was no pause in that entire race. It felt like you guys were up on the wheel every single lap, scrapping. Is that the way it felt in the car for you?
Oh, 100%. Like I'm sweating right now. Like I probably need to go change my shirt or something. But it was just 100% the whole time. And you felt like if you tried to lay back a little bit, you were just going to get passed by 10 cars and then you're not in a good spot at all. So you had to keep that pace up the entire time.
Talk about the runs, and it sure looked like it was super tricky just trying to hold the speed coming up out of 2 to the backstretch.
Yeah, and I found for me, because you can downshift here. I know some people were doing it and some people weren't. I found once the tires started to wear like 10, 15 laps into the run, I started shifting every single corner. If you like, especially on the bottom, if you hit it just right, getting back on the throttle, like partial throttle, the thing just felt like it stuck and was a rocket ship. But once you had that run, like you had to take it and just hope that either A, there was some drafting help in front of you, or you just had a big enough run that you cleared the guy in front of you.
Yeah, we did hear shifting. Chris called that out. It seems unusual, but it makes sense, right? With tire wear. Left side tire wear was the key, right? That left rear was wearing?
Yeah, I think I was doing a decent job managing it. I didn't even check what my tires were at the end there, but it was keeping that left rear good. Felt like you could drive it pretty deep into the corner because it didn't quite matter as much as if you burned up the right front. But that was what I think was making it crazy with the dive bombs and everything too.
Well, I'll tell you what, yeah, outstanding race. One of those races that you will look back on and I'm sure remember just the fierce battle all the way through. Chad Coleman, Josh Parker, Kevin DeBrown, with Mike Kelly and others in there. I mean, just it had to be a blast. And second place finish, that's a night's work. Congratulations on that. Anybody want to say hello to?
Yeah, just want to say thanks to everybody that makes this league happen. Joey, all the admins here at Sim500. Thanks to you guys for putting on these great broadcasts every week. Thanks to NC811 for sponsoring the series. And then want to shout out my team, BPPC Motorsports. Thank my spotter for helping me out too, Jason. And then shout out to my Instagram page, WBD Diecast, where I make custom diecasts.
He's on TikTok too.
I am on TikTok.
Do you dance?
No, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
We were trying to talk Chris into he needed some sort of something. So.
I need something.
Oh, that'll draw some viewers in.
or will it negative my viewers? Like, how am I going into negative?
But if it's bad enough, that'll help.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, Wesley, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Go enjoy that one. It was well earned, and thank you for showing us that finish off the turn 4. That was exciting.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Absolutely, you too, buddy. Wesley Donaldson finishing in the second position tonight behind Donnie Leah, who wins it from the pole here tonight. And a fantastic race, as we've talked about here. And Donnie was a part of it. And great run. Congratulations, Donnie, from the pole here this evening. That was a wild one. Was as wild from the seat as it was up where we are?
Yeah, that was fun, man. We were just talking about it in the chat. That was pretty wild. I thought there were multiple times I just thought we were wrecking and done. Just didn't happen.
There was some very tight racing, especially I know when you guys caught Tyler. I think Tyler obviously was at a point where he had to figure out something because you guys obviously ate him up, and you guys were leaning on each other there in turn 1 at times.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of contact the whole race. I tell you what, we were just saying it was a ton of fun. The car was definitely a handful as it usually is, but this particular car. But as far as connection wise and everything, being able to lay on someone that's next to you, not purposely, but it just would happen, and not die, pretty awesome. Everything worked just right. It was pretty cool.
Was there
a lot of fun?
Oh, good. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, so was there a preferred groove like that you enjoyed out there the most tonight, or was there just that you could go anywhere?
I think you can go almost anywhere, at least from the bottom up to middle, and even the top, I guess. But if you ran the top for a while, you just wear your stuff out. I know AJ was up there trying, and a few guys, and it's fun, but you pay the price for sure. But it didn't even seem like we saw a big difference in tire wear. 20% difference on the right sides from one guy to the next, and still going similar speed. So it's just a very forgiving race car today. That was the biggest thing I noticed about this car. I haven't raced in a month or two, but biggest thing I noticed different, maybe they changed the build, something, but the car was much more forgiving. Even contact was more forgiving car to car. The car itself was more forgiving driving it. A little less on edge. It was fun. It was really fun. So thank you guys for covering it, and can't wait to look back at the telecast. It's probably fun to watch, but it was definitely fun driving it.
We try to make it fun. But now, is there anybody
Yeah.
you want to say hello to or give shout outs or anything?
Yeah, just the guys, team name guys. All of us worked really well together tonight. That was a lot of fun working together and staying on strategy. And EJ O'Rourke, he never hangs me out, man. He even though he's not my teammate, if he ever has a choice in front of him, he's going with me. So I got to thank my buddy EJ, and I try to return that favor as much as I can. But and you guys for doing this stuff, Joey and all the admins that help out in the series. It's really appreciated and a lot of fun, and I'm happy I showed up tonight to race with all you guys because I didn't realize how much I missed it, especially when you win. I guess of course, it's more fun. So, but either way, I missed it either way. So
that's fair. And I think they come back to Michigan here in a few weeks with the Grand National Series being a couple weeks behind. So you'll get another chance to do it again here soon.
Yeah, hopefully I can make that one. But thanks again, guys. Thanks for everything. All the sponsors, everybody. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Donnie. Donnie Leah there, the winner tonight here at the Michigan Speedway. Congratulations to him and at Jimmy John's number 29 car. And going to victory lane right there on the front straightaway. Well, not on the front stretch, but on the grass there of the front straightaway.
I'm wondering if we could go find Tyler.
Ooh. All right.
What do you think?
I have no problem with it.
Hold on, I'll go.
You got him? All right. We'll let you talk to Tyler here if you'd like. And hear what he has to say. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do some investigating here for a second while you...
There we go.
There he gets Tyler up there. We'll let Kev go ahead.
I think he deserves a call out for that run. Played the strategy, came up short, but made it fun to watch. And just want to see Tyler. You still get your radio on?
Yeah.
I know you got to be disappointed, and they sure ganged up on you on the end, man. But we were rooting for you. What a great call you made. You were out front. I'm not sure. Was there a tire wear factor in the end that slowed you up some?
Yeah, I mean, tires definitely were 5 laps older there than the guys that ran us down, but I think just what killed us was the draft. I'm out there all by myself. They'll in a 5-6 car draft, and pretty much mirror image of what happened to us at Auto Club. Maybe one day we'll figure out this strategy at a track that draft is not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I kind of wish I saw you running behind Doug there for a bit with Stoney, and wondering if that was helping you some. But when they got to you, you didn't lay down. You guys were 3 wide coming off the corner, door to door. At one point with Donnie, you were against each other, and I wondered if you were coming out the other side. And I just thought it deserved a special nod for the effort tonight. Came home with a 6th place finish, but that belays the great run that you had here.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I felt like we definitely ran pretty good up there. Towards the middle of the race, fell back a little bit, got a little bit loose, and finally started to figure out something there towards the second half of the race. I was able to go up there and take the lead from Donnie, and felt like maybe I got used up there a couple corners by Donnie. So when he caught me, I wasn't going to make it easy on him.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to wreck him, but I wasn't going to make it easy on him. I was trying to just slow him down a little bit, more with air than anything else. But then when we got sort of together there, it sort of sucked us together and went into the corner. And these cars, you can sort of lean on each other without any no harm, no foul. So, but at that point, it's just 5 lap older tires. Just try to hang on to the back of their draft and maybe get a caution, come in, tire strategy or something. But we'll take the 6th, and maybe if we keep these runs up, we can hopefully get a win here sometime soon. It'd be nice to finally get a cup win off our back. So,
Kevin, if I may, Tyler, if I wanted when you were out there running your laps there towards the end of that race, were you trying to save the tires a little bit to see if they would burn up more to kind of even it out a little bit?
I was trying to run it the way I knew that it wouldn't get loose.
Okay.
I was trying to keep the heat in the front because I knew if I tried to save the front, it was just going to end up getting the rears too hot, which is I think what happened early on when I was stuck behind EJ. Is EJ was backing the corners up a lot, and I was having to back him up way more than I wanted to. And for me, at least, driving it in harder was better for me as far as being able to save, especially that left rear. The left rear, once that tire got hot, is when it really started to get loose on exit. So being able to drive it in hard, to me, was sort of important as far as keeping the tires balanced. It was more about keeping the tires balanced versus trying to necessarily manage the wear on one specific tire.
Okay. Well, great job tonight, man. And if you want to throw some shout-outs, go ahead.
I just think all the guys from the Sim500 Mafia, I know a lot of us had pretty good finishes. Hate that Bob, he got a speeding penalty at the end. He was right up there with us, but it sucks for him. He was right up there with us. Good finish there for Glenn and Mike. But yeah, it's always a good track for us here at Michigan. We ran obviously well at California too, similar track. But like I said, maybe we'll go to a track where draft not quite as important, and maybe we'll figure out something to gain some track position like that and be able to hold them off without having to worry about having to hold off guys that have some draft.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Tyler Dalton joining us there. Of course, he talked to Kevin, and obviously a sixth place finish for him this evening. So, no, well-deserved on his part. He deserved to win the race, but he had a great finish tonight. You mentioned getting loose there, and he fought the car, did what he had to do, but just come up a little bit short. So, whew.
Yeah, that strategy I thought was outstanding. If he'd had someone else as a teammate to help him push at the end, or a couple more laps to pull the draft, could have been a different story. We head to Indy next week, which surprisingly drives a little bit like this track. You float the car down and float the car off. It's about how you get off turn 2 to the back and all of that. And we'll get to see the preview of the oval prior to the real cars going back there, which is the rumor.
I don't think it's so much of a rumor.
Yep, I know.
But anywho,
to have that happen. As much as they didn't really love those races, they need to be racing on.
Absolutely. Now, this is something to think about. I want you, the viewers, to go down the road and find 4 corners that turn, or that look similar, 90-degree corners. And I want you to drive your car and turn left on them, and notice how they're all 4 different. That's Indianapolis. 4 90-degree corners, but somehow they do not drive anywhere near the same.
Not even close.
Makes no sense, but it's the way it is. We'll go hit the Brickyard. I think it's our first time actually broadcasting the Brickyard for Sim500 here on the Captain Esports Network. So we're looking forward to that, and looking forward to sitting on the 9th floor of the Pagoda. Might have to go up to a couple places I've lived in Indiana and check out the food and stuff, and go from there. Looking forward to it. So, any other thoughts before we go, Kev?
Hey, just one little nuance of what Tyler said, how some of these drivers run. It'll wear the right side if you go in the corner one way, wear the left side if you go in another way. Some of them purposely balance the entry of the corner, and that does happen at Indy in some respects too. So pretty interesting to hear him pull that little nugget out.
Absolutely. We'll go to Indy next week. Sunday night, we will be at Pocono, which is almost a cousin track to Indianapolis. So you want to talk about comparable tracks. Pocono in Michigan, or Pocono in Indianapolis is going to be fun. Tonight, 19 lead changes, 3 cautions for 9 laps. Donnie Leah led the most with 55. Josh Parker, Tyler Dalton, 13 apiece amongst those leaders in the race. So definitely was a fun one. So, all right, let's head out. Let's enjoy the rest of our Monday night and the rest of our week. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.
for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.